Welcome, Hockey Off the Turf with Beanie and Mary. We're going to be chatting about hockey locally. We also have a special guest today, former player of Mary's at Norfolk Academy, and she went on to play 4 years of Division One field hockey at Davidson, Courtney Byler. And she will be with us for our second segment. But first, let's talk a little hockey. Your big win.
Oh, huge win.
When was
Huge
it?
win for the Dogs. Friday against Collegiate School for Richmond. And that was all about home seed advantage for the VISA playoffs.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. A few games, nothing really big last week. Pocosin beat Lakeland 5-1. Elizabeth Trant with the hat trick. Trinity over NA. Mia Clarkson did have 16 saves, though, and you were actually pretty excited about that game, even though
Yeah.
you lost.
Yeah. We didn't have two of our senior captains,
Right.
Joji and Cooper.
But you also said your young girls really stepped up.
They did. They played so hard, and team ball was amazing. They played.
Was it between the 25s mostly, or?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot. They had speed on the ball as well as speed
Mhm.
themselves.
Yeah, I saw two of their games at the Ring of Honor, and they did look pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay, Gloucester beat Kellam 6-1. I actually officiated that game. That one kind of threw me for a loop. Yeah,
Surprising.
yeah, it was. Cape beat Catholic.
Yeah.
Another
That
surprise.
was another shocker.
Yeah, Lauren Doran had both goals for Cape. Nansen River beat Pocosin 3-0. No shocker there. York over War Hill 9-2. I think York, like I've said every time we talk about them, I think they're a pretty good team. And they're really, really young. Grafton 4-0 over Lakeland. Grassfield was 1-0 over Hickory. Cox beat York just 2-1. I do. I just feel like they're decent. And I only saw them in two scrimmages at the very beginning of the season. I thought they were really kind of put together. Tab beat York 4-1. That was the first goal scored on them in 70 games. Yeah. Kellam over Salem 7-1. Maury beat Hickory 3-2. PA beat Tallwood 6-0. Guess who had the most goals in that game? Sydney Regini. Had 4 goals.
Yes.
Kellam over Salem, I just said that one. Pocosin over New Kent, don't know anything about them, 8-0. Nansen River over Deep Creek, 8-0. Great Bridge beat Hickory 3-0, but I heard that was a pretty good game. The officials who were on it told me. Catholic beat Hampton Roads Academy 6-0. Ocean Lakes beat Salem 3-0. Pocosin over Grassfield 3-0. Cox then came back and beat Tallwood 12-0. And Irma Bailey had 4 of those goals. She has 13 goals and 12 assists on the year so far. I just talked to Taylor yesterday. And then PA, I did this game. It was 4-3 over Kellam. This game was crazy. So Sydney Regini
played?
Here, training center. Sydney Regini had all 4 goals for PA. Ellis Cannon had 2 goals, 2 of the 3, and she I don't know if it was the third quarter or the fourth quarter. And I'm officiating. I'm on the coach's side, and it literally was like back and forth. You scored, then it was like this.
Oh, wow.
And I think Kellam went up 3-0 the first 8 minutes of the game. It was kind of crazy, but it was very even.
Yeah.
And then Ellis got the ball around the 50-yard line, literally clean shot between her and the goalie. And I'm on a full sprint, and she pulls her hamstring. I know. I don't know how serious it is, but it looked pretty bad. And then about 2 minutes later, another girl from Kellam did the exact same thing in the exact same spot. Yeah, it was really weird. They lost 4-3. That might have been a closer game if they could have stayed in there. But anyway, now our Chick Farm Player of the Week, sponsored by Il Giardino. She comes to us from the other side of the water. Annabelle Simmons, a defender for her team, but has scored 7 goals and has 2 defensive saves. When I asked her what position she plays, she said right back and right forward. Okay. So congrats to Annabelle Simmons on being the Chick Farm Player of the Week. And now we have an interview with our Jack.
All right, I'm here with our Il Giardino Chicken Parm Player of the Week. This week it is Annabelle Simmons from Pocosin High School. She plays right back and high forward. Thank you so much for joining me, Annabelle. I'm going to start. I want you to talk me through your Pocosin season so far, if that's okay, and how things have gone for you guys.
Yep. So far it's been going good. We've lost to 2 teams, Nansen River 3-0. Of course, they're 5A, I believe. They're pretty good.
Yep.
And then Western Branch, that was a 1-0 game. We should have won that game. It was on our side a lot, but we had a lot of corners we should have scored. And then, all the other games, we've just been winning 3-0. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you got one of your more recent wins was against New Kent. You guys won 7-0. Very convincing, very impressive win in my opinion. Can you take me through that game a little bit?
Yeah, so we started with a new lineup. Actually, we had our defensive mid as right back. My coaches put me up top, and Elizabeth Trant. She just dribbled straight up the field. We scored. I don't know. We just connected a lot.
That's really good.
We played great as a team that game.
Awesome. What would you say has been the best strength of this Pocosin team so far throughout the season?
I would say not giving up, because we tend to get down a lot, but we stay together as a team and we push through that. Like we'll have 3-0 games and winning, but it doesn't feel good sometimes. So we always stay together and push through everything with positivity.
Absolutely. What would you say is the best part of your game? You've had a pretty good year so far.
I'd say communication and looking up and talking to my teammates, letting them know where I am, calling for it. I'd say communication is a good part of my game.
Absolutely. Would you consider yourself one of the leaders of the team with that?
I would. I'm not a captain because just the way the coaches decided. I mean, that's cool and all, but I'm the voice of the team, I would say, most of the time. But yeah, I'd say.
Absolutely. So you guys still have quite a little ways to go in the season. What would you say is the expectations for Pocosin for the rest of the season and maybe even into the playoffs?
Yeah, we're up there. We just got to execute. Executing is the only thing. We have the potential. We can win states. I believe we can win. We just have to execute. Of course, it'll be a great game on Monday, but we can win. We
Absolutely. Can. Absolutely. And as you just mentioned, you guys have TAB this coming Monday, big game for you guys. Can you take me through what the preparation has been like in practice probably today and yesterday coming up for that game?
We've been working on our corners a lot. We've been having players play as them, if that makes sense, to put pressure on us so we were prepared. And, I mean, we've all just been focused. We've been locked in for Monday's game. I think we're pretty ready.
Yeah, definitely. So that's pretty much it for the Pocosin talk. Now I want to get into you personally, if that's okay. I wanted to ask about, do you have a favorite memory when playing field hockey, whether it's playing high school, maybe playing club, or even when you were even younger playing for the first time, anything?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have one, to be honest. I mean, States was a lot of fun my sophomore year. Great Bridge. I had 2 of those goals. It was 2-0. I scored. Grace Oates hit the direct shot. It was a corner. The time went out, fourth quarter. Time went out. Grace had a direct shot. I tipped it in, so it was 1-1. And then we went into double overtime. And then Casey Law reversed it over a girl's stick, and then I reversed it in underneath the goalie's arm, and we scored.
Oh, man.
That was a good 2-1 game.
That's awesome. So you scored the game winner?
Yeah.
That's definitely got to be one of the better ones up there.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. So final question for you. It's a fun one. We ask all of the Chicken Parm players of the weeks. So let's say you get deserted on an island. Nothing there. You can only bring one teammate with you. Who would that teammate be?
Ooh, Elizabeth Trant.
There you go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She's great. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Annabelle, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your free chicken parm.
Of course. Thank you.
And I wouldn't take a pit bull.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients, and we're more than a hospital.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Now for a limited time on the $7 meal deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game.
Treat yourself to a visit to the Drip Bar IV Hydration and Vitamin Therapy in Virginia Beach. Boost your immunity, increase your energy, and promote anti-aging with our personalized treatments designed to ensure efficient nutrition absorption to rejuvenate your mind and body. Come see our chic and relaxing day spa for yourself today. We welcome walk-ins and appointments. Our medical professionals will help you achieve your best health and answer all your questions. The Drip Bar at Lansdowne Commons in Virginia Beach.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Hello and welcome back. I'm here with Beanie Schleicher and the one and only Courtney Byler. Courtney Byler is a former player of mine. She has been a Norfolk Academy varsity member since the 8th grade. She was one of the first 8th graders ever to make the squad. She graduated in 2015, went on to play at Davidson, and led the nation her senior year in defensive saves with how many? 11 of them.
Really? That's
Huge.
crazy.
Yeah. She was a member of Tacoyo Field Hockey Club and played all her life before she went down to North Carolina here in the 757. Court, it's great to have you with us.
Good to be here.
And so tell us, like, since most of our viewers are parents and players, tell us about your start to field hockey.
Yeah, well, I was thinking back, and both of you guys are pretty involved in that. I think the first time I actually picked up a stick, probably in PE in Norfolk Academy, just through our lessons and kind of got into it that way. And then the first time I ever played on an actual team, Beanie, I think you were my coach at Beach Premier, and that was the first time, probably 6th or 7th grade, when I actually playing formal hockey around this area.
You look the same.
Yeah, I guess that's good.
Some things don't change.
Yeah.
And what did you enjoy as a player, playing for high school and club?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I liked about high school was you kind of get the opportunity, I think, to play with a lot of your friends, which is a bit different than club. It's kind of, I think, a cool time to, play for your school, have all these fun traditions. It I think helped me keep the sport kind of fun and really not lose sight of that. And then I think for club, I really enjoyed being able to play some of those high competition teams, going up to travel, and actually get to play a higher level caliber, just because you are playing against the other girls that want to go to the next level. So I really just enjoy going to tournaments, also getting to be on teams with girls in the area and meeting different people that probably never would have.
Do you remember any of your tennis games against WC, for
example? I mean, yeah, WC Eagles was always intense. They were always, there was one year I think Windy City was also really always put up a good fight.
Yeah.
And I remember those. Yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
So you're 11 defensive saves.
Yeah.
Do you? And I'm thinking of one in general, not yours. But did you have any that were like just crazy? Like there's no way you should have stopped it.
There was definitely I don't know, I remember one or two where it was just kind of out of the air, and it's like one of those things where it definitely was a hard shot, and it was kind of just right place, right time, where probably 9 times out of 10 I'm missing it. It's like, it was almost like you stop it and you're like, oh, I gotta go drill it out of the circle. So there was a few of them.
Yeah, that's interesting. I saw a couple at Duke. I won't talk about them now, but they were just like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, kind of crazy. Anyway,
I know,
that's
it's
awesome.
a little tiny stick.
And a little tiny
Oh,
ball.
yeah, amazing. Your eye-hand coordination. What was some of your fond memories of high school?
I think biggest one definitely has got to be winning the state championship my senior year. It's our first ever NA state championship. Um, my senior year, it was kind of like everything culminated in that moment, and I felt like 5 years of being on varsity, it was like led up to that specific moment. So I was glad that I could kind of finish out my time there with the championship, and it was a pretty crazy game back and forth against Trinity.
Yeah.
I think
Very
it was ended up
intense.
being like 3-2. We scored in overtime.
Yeah.
Phew.
And so it was all just like perfect storm. I will definitely never forget.
I was just gonna say that it's a memory you'll never forget.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I'll have to thank you for that championship because Terry Sawyer used to call me the Susan Lucci of field hockey, always finishing runner-up. So that was a nice first W.
We were due.
We were due for sure. And so talk about your recruiting process.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it revolved around going down to showcases, and I know I went to a lot of showcases, Disney one out in Palm Springs. So kind of the way I would go about it is send out these emails to the coaches that you're interested in playing for, and send your schedule. Come watch me, please. Playing here and here. And then, you go down to these showcases and you have all of these college coaches on the field. So you're trying to play your best and get seen. So that's a lot of what I did. I email these coaches, and then, after that liked me and that we kind of connected, I would follow up with. And I know for the schools that I was really interested in, I ended up going to their camps in the summer. So I know, like, I went to Davidson. We did camp at North Bay Academy, like Wake and some other places that we were looking at. And then ended up also just going on visits to see the schools. But for me, the biggest thing was I wanted a place that I could play both on and off the field. That was pretty important to me. I knew that I wasn't going to play field hockey for the rest of my life, so I wanted somewhere that I could get good education as well as having the field hockey aspect as well. So I think Davidson kind of, for me, was that perfect balance between academics, but also having the athletics, having that competition. So,
What was it like? This past week we played collegiate school in Richmond, and you ran into Jenny Turner, your former coach. What was that all about?
That was great. Yeah, she was my coach all 4 years at Davidson. She played at William and Mary. She was definitely, I think, one of the big reasons I came to Davidson as well, just because she, I think, was someone who really cared about her players, just really wanted the best for us. And so I know we still keep in touch to this day, which how connected you become with your coach. And that was great to see her. Whenever we're in town, we try to catch up. She's still kind of involved in hockey.
Probably check the game. Just watching.
She works now at collegiate.
Oh, she's not Davidson anymore.
Yeah,
No.
no, she left Davidson. I was the last year that.
Oh, so she's been gone for a
She's
bit.
been gone, yeah, for at least 4 or 5 years, and then she helped a little bit out at St. Catherine's. Her boys go to Richmond Collegiate, and she helped out with their JV a bit as well. So
Oh, wow. We talked about this last time too, but recruiting. Like, think of how many kids you sent to, D1 colleges. And I think I at one point I had a number in my head, but then also D2 and D3. The recruiting process in hockey, I think, is like top notch.
Yeah.
I don't know how any other sport does it. Every single thing that you went to between, things here, RCCs, NCCs, Disney, everything you just mentioned, NITs. I mean, every college coach is there. And I
Yeah.
know one of the coaches, Jared Martin, who's now the head coach at the Ohio State, started recruiting Haley when she was young. And honestly, I think he was on the sideline, not just for her, but from like 8th grade on.
Yeah.
He never missed, and he still doesn't miss a showcase.
Right.
He is at everything.
Yes, he is.
But so many of them are.
And hockey's such a nice small world
Mhm.
that, you and I who've been involved in this for so long, we know so many of the coaches, which is such a nice little advantage for the
Yeah.
players and all that. But it's definitely between Nexus, Futures, Nexus, and all that. It definitely, yeah, it's a good program for the kids.
Yeah, it really is. And I think it's so, and I actually have talked to Chuck about this. It's almost hard. If you go to college, I mean, you go to high school and you want to play hockey, you can.
Yeah.
1, 2, or 3.
Absolutely.
And if you really want to put
There's
in the
so
work.
many programs out there.
I know.
There are a lot now.
Yeah.
It's growing. Even D2, that's where my daughter played.
Mm-hmm.
And
Limestone?
Limestone, yeah. There was only a handful, and now there's, I think, up to 20 D2 schools.
Yeah.
They give money as well. So there's money out there.
Also, shout out to Virginia Wesleyan.
Yes.
For the first time in, I don't know how many years, honestly, I should have looked it up. Over 20, I'm sure.
Oh, easily.
They are
Since-
either 10-1 or 11-1. I just went to their senior day because I have two former players, Landry Meyer and Lauren Hespeth on the team, and Lauren's a senior.
Okay.
And Lauren scored the first goal, and they beat a team they have never beaten. I mean, since like 2001. They
Yeah.
said it. I can't think of who it was. But they beat them 2-0, 3-0.
It's nice to see some of the local players going back to Virginia because there was a while where there wasn't a lot of local.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
the
good.
coach there, Riley's doing a really good job.
He
And they
is
actually
doing-
looked, that's probably the best I've ever seen them look. I've
Yeah.
seen them play a couple times.
They're playing WNL and kids there.
Oh, do you?
Ann Burns, Dash, and
Yeah,
Kate
yeah, yeah.
Ruffin.
Okay.
Both of
Yeah.
them are-
Yeah. Yeah, Weston has a ton of beach kids. I think a girl from Princess Anne went there this year as well.
Mhm.
And she's playing. I don't remember her name. But there a lot of Chesapeake girls,
Yeah.
a lot of local girls go there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Court, as we finish this up, what advice do you have for the field hockey future players that want to play in college?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, thinking about if you want to play in college is you have to be mentally tough. I think with any sport, but especially field hockey, so many things can happen. Maybe you don't get the playing time you want. Maybe you get injured. Maybe you have a tough loss. Those things are bound to happen. And I think the best players, and especially the players that succeed at the higher level, are the ones that can power through that adversity and be mentally tough enough to take that and then move on and kind of forget about it and compartmentalize, because the longer you dwell on those things, it really can kind of take you down that path. And I think the second thing as well is, I would say, don't specialize in field hockey too early, because I found, like, I played multiple sports in high school and kind of played stuff just at Davidson, and I think it helps you to not burn out and kind of again remember that love for the sport that you have. And so I sometimes see people that in like 7th or 8th grade, they're like, field hockey is the only sport I'm gonna play. They play it. I still play indoor, outdoor, all of that, but like if you're playing that the entire year, I think it's a lot easier to burn out, maybe get injuries,
sure.
whatever it might be. I think just especially when you're in high school and you're a bit younger, giving that variety and switching things up goes a long way in building around it.
I agree with that. Also, though, getting like Mary coached you in hockey, but then whatever else you played. And again, I can only go to my own experience. Haley played basketball in high school and soccer. So she
Yeah.
had 3 very different coaches, which I think actually,
Oh,
good or
for
bad,
sure.
makes you a better player in different
Yeah.
ways. But you said something, so you had a really good experience at Davidson with the coach and everything. But I think mental health is a big topic, because a lot of girls and guys, but girls specifically hockey, will go to college and maybe aren't mentally tough, and they get a coach that is really hard on them. And that's when there can be I've seen some breakdown with kids playing, or maybe possibly quitting. Do you see anything like that at Davidson?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a great experience, but definitely, there's people and I've seen either at Davidson that maybe it's not quite cut out for playing in college. You think that you want to play at that level and you want to practice every day in the spring, in the fall, and run over the summer. But then when you actually get into it, you realize it's a lot more work and effort. And I think, you know, the people that succeed in it, those are kind of the ones that are willing to put in that effort. And, you know, if you want to play in college, you just have to know that it's not just something you play in the fall and then season's over and you're like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
like I'll just go about my, you know, life, have field hockey's next year. It's kind of like it's a full-time thing, you know. You're lifting in the off season, you're playing, you have to keep your body healthy. It's not something you can just turn off, so you really need to know that for 4 years that's going to be whatever it takes to kind of prepare yourself to get to that space.
Right.
I think something really important because if you go and fun thing that's just I think you're gonna be
3 months.
you know,
Not even in high school
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. Not going.
Awesome. Do you have any more questions for Court?
Well, I do. And Courtney said it best earlier as far as, you know, there's no professional hockey out there. So how has field hockey prepared you for the workplace?
Yeah. I think, I mean, being an athlete in general, I think helps a lot with kind of having a good work ethic and all of that. But one of the biggest things from field hockey that I've found helps the workplace is being able to stay composed under pressure. Um, you have these huge moments in states, and you have a stroke, and all these things that it comes down to this one moment, and it's really important that you're able to stay composed and be able to just perform under those pressures. Yeah, and so I think the same goes to the workplace. You have a big meeting, big presentation. Um, to be able to perform trust the preparation put in the past months, and I think it kind of goes stay cool and collected in the moments that matter.
Yeah, that's a key. Sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Courtney, for joining us. The COVA Senior All-Star Game will be Wednesday, November 20th at 6 p.m. right here at the Regional Training Center. Emails will be going out to the coaches to let their players know. Also this week, we'll be live streaming today, Cox versus Salem, and Thursday, First Colonial versus Lansdowne. Next Wednesday, Mary and I will be doing the podcast again, and our guest is going to be Regina Dixon. Regina lives in 757. She actually is an official now. Her daughter, Grace, is a freshman at The Ohio State University. She played 2 years through me at First Colonial. And her other daughter, May Dixon, is a junior. She's a junior, same as Gray. Yeah, she's a junior. Yeah, because it's her second year there. And she goes to the Hill School. So, fun fact, she sent me this, and I don't have my phone on me. Hill School is ranked number 1, just played Malvern Villa Maria.
Yes, they're a
Who's
good
ranked-
program. We played them last year in Maxfield hockey.
Beat them?
Yeah, we did.
I thought so. I thought you won
Yeah.
both those games. They beat them 5-0. But the fun fact is, guess how many people were in attendance at that game? Wild guess.
Hundreds.
1,000 people were at that game. And
Where
she
was it? At Hill School?
one or the other. I don't know
Okay.
where it was. But it was also on top of the circle.
Yes, you live
USA
blogged
Field
that one,
Hockey.
yeah.
Yeah. She said it was crazy. 1,000 people were there.
Stand 1,000. We certainly don't.
No.
Got it in there.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you again next Wednesday.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Rosemary Wilson grew up in a military family. Rosemary knows that Oceana creates over 13,000 jobs for our community. When Washington, D.C. talked about closing NAS Oceana, Rosemary Wilson was part of the team that kept the base open. And this year, Rosemary sponsored the resolution welcoming the next generation of Navy fighter aircraft to Virginia Beach. Rosemary Wilson listens and gets the job done. Rosemary Wilson, leadership that delivers.
He's live and he's local. It's the Morning Drive with Johnny D.
Hey, Hampton Roads, finally live in local sports. 6 to 9 a.m. weekday mornings. It's the Morning Drive with me, Johnny D, alongside Suave and JJ. Tune in right here to your new official home of the sports fan in Hampton Roads. Fox Sports 1310 a.m., 100.9 FM, and always streaming live on Cova Sports TV.
Get ready for the Neptune Bowl presented by Doubletree by Hilton on November 23rd, 2024 at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Tailgating starts at 10 a.m. Grab your passes for just $50. Gates open at 12:30 with kickoff at 2 p.m. Advance tickets are only $20 or $25 at the gate on game day. College football only comes to Virginia Beach once a year. Visit beachsportsplex.com to learn more today and secure your spot.